gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police when I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, shout around? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
In other news, there is disturbing new video tonight of the moments just before that mass shooting in West Philadelphia over the weekend.
In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground where I spent most of my days. I mean, this is crazy that even back in the 80s and 90s when Will Smith was in West Philadelphia, he still had to flee and go to Bel Air. I mean, it hasn't changed much from then to now. And that is sad. That is distressing. And before we watch this video, which is very shocking, very jarring, very disturbing, we have to talk about this, guys. What have I been saying on this channel? If you are an avid BGZM News 17 watcher, what is something that I've been saying on this channel? I've been saying the community needs to refrain from large gatherings. I've been saying this for the longest, bruh. This is a problem. The city needs to create a new law that if you're gonna have more than 20 people in one setting in a party type situation, you gotta have a permit. You have to have police on the block. I mean, guys, we have to get some type of control into these situations because people can't just pop up with tents on the block, you know, grill out and have thousands of people. I mean, it looks like hundreds, but we'll say 100 or a few. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, guys. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
This is ring video from the 1200 block of North Alden Street early Sunday morning. 3 people were killed, 6 others injured in the shooting. Today, police revealed that they are looking for 30-year-old Amir Jones after identifying him as a suspect. Another man who was hurt in the shooting, Amir Jones, after...
So, I mean, as you can see, he's definitely a roughneck. Looks like he has a previous mug shot, been through the ringer a couple of times. And he ain't playing. He gonna slide. You know what I'm saying? He one of them tank head ninjas. You know what I'm saying? If you ever been to public school and them big blockhead ninjas, he like one of them tank head pit bull head ninjas. And you know that's fine and all, but when you're shooting into a crowd, killing multiple people and injuring others, I mean, it's despicable. And we have a lot of guys who are willing to, quote unquote, put in work in the community, and it's something that sometimes in many cases these dudes are taking pride in this. Like, these thug max alpha simps, they're taking pride in committing acts of violence like this. These super gremlins are on demon time.
After identifying him as a suspect. Another man who was hurt in the shooting has also been charged.
Now to new information on that mass shooting in West Philadelphia. We've just learned from police that 9 people were shot, 3 of them died. Investigators say that shooting stemmed from a fight that broke out at a large gathering along the 1200 block of North Alden Street. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson joins us live from Penn Presbyterian Medical Center in University City, where a number of the victims are being treated. Good morning, Sharifa.
Good morning, Nydia. Yeah, many of the surviving victims, they were brought here all said to be in stable condition. A 33-year-old, a 29-year-old, and 23-year-old, they were killed. Police believe at least one of those victims were targeted. It was just after 2 a.m. Sunday.
We're not sure if it was a block party or just simply, a group of individuals that were invited from other parts of the city. It's just not clear at this time.
More than 100 people gathered in.
I mean, that's pretty crazy that the police don't know if it was a block party or just a group of people hanging out. These people should get permits, right? These people should have permits.
West Philadelphia, altogether 9 people were shot. It happened on the 1200 block of North Alden Street. The victims ranging in age from 23 to 33 years old, all taken to area hospitals, many of them undergoing surgery.
It appears that there were multiple shooters. It's unclear at this time how many, but we have counted at least 25 to 30 spent shell casings at this time.
Philadelphia.
Dang. So, I mean, they can quickly come to the conclusion there was multiple shooters in this case, but another case, wink, wink, we can't determine if it's multiple shooters. No, I'm kidding, but you have these ninjas in the community who are sliding on ops. Don't forget this term, sliding on ops. And to me, this looks like this is a street ninja throwing a block party. Him and his other friends, put some money into the block party. They trying to get lit, whatever. Another rival gang, hears about the party because they posted on Instagram. They posted on story and whatnot. And then they pull up and air the party out. That's literally what happens in most of these cases. And the black community is completely on fire right now. I don't understand how else I can say it. It's on fire. With all the things going on in the country, with all the crime, the black community is taking the bulk of the casualties. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous how violent it has gotten in the community, especially in Philly, man. It's insane. It's destructive. We've got black leadership and they can't stop it. They're not stopping it.
Philadelphia police are still processing evidence into the early morning hours. The crime scene spread over half a block. Many cars were also hit. Police say they're not sure of a motive. So far, there have been no arrests.
We're not exactly sure who is the organizer of this event, but that is going to be part of our investigation.
Probably some street ninja, excuse me. Probably some Thug Max Alpha Simp. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and he throws a little block party. He's posting it on Instagram. Hey, bro, we out here, you know what I'm saying, on whatever, 100 block or whatever. And there you have it.
Investigators, they're looking for video footage of what may have happened there. They also want more witnesses to come forward. Again, a lot of people were out there during that time. They say they did recover one gun, but they're not sure who it belongs to. Nydia?
Sharifa, thank you.
Philadelphia police say about 100 people were attending some sort of block party early this morning when multiple shooters started firing. We are told innocent bystanders were among those injured. Besides a few scattered strands of police tape, life is mostly back to normal today along the block that was the scene of the city's latest mass shooting.
At this point, we know that at least 9 persons were shot. All of them appear to be males, and all appear to be adults.
Philadelphia police say of the 9 shot, 3 were killed. All of the victims are between the ages of 23 and 33.
Dang.
It happened shortly after 2 this morning on the 1200 block of North Alden Street in West Philadelphia.
Dang. I mean, I don't know if these guys hit their quote unquote intended target. Obviously, this is a horrible, horrible situation. But it just goes to show, man, that street stuff, the street life, trying to be hard with a strap in front of your camera on Facebook is dead, bro. Literally, it's dead. And the community has to come to grips with that if we want to move forward as a people. I mean, I'm begging, at least have some group acknowledgement and say this is a real issue. If you talk about this issue in the community, they will try and deflect, and they try and act like it's not a issue. It's not a big thing. And, oh, well, other groups of people do it too. No, bro. No, baby. Not like this. Not like this. And it's, you know, it's concerning that we have this cognitive dissonance towards crime that is happening to our people. Everybody in the community knows somebody who done got shot, killed at a party, whatever. But we refuse to acknowledge and realize what the main issue afflicting the community is at this time.
There are a couple of tents that have been erected. So this is something that was planned, not necessarily a so-called pop-up party as happened in the past.
Police say investigators recovered between 25 to 30 shell casings scattered about half of the block, and at least one of the victims was shot at close range, indicating he was targeted.
It appears that there were multiple shooters. It's unclear at this time how many.
I'm disgusted, frustrated.
Pastor Carl Day has been working for more than a decade to help curb the city's gun violence.
But we need to stop with the barbaric behavior, you know, and just the ignorance. It's just...
Ooh, Pastor Carl Day said it, not me. This black man said it, not me. So is he a coon? Is he a sellout? He said we need to stop with this barbaric behavior. He was very specific, and he's right. He's absolutely right. I don't disagree with him one bit. But in the community, if you say something like this, you are a coon. You are a sellout. You are Uncle Tom. You are shucking and jiving. You are a tap dancer, sir. You're a tap dancer, Pastor Carl Day. But in my opinion, if he is a tap dancer, he's tap dancing for the right cause, because somebody's got to call it out. Somebody's got to acknowledge it. Somebody has to hold it accountable. Otherwise, where are we going to be in 5 years, let alone 10? Where's the community going to be?
Gun violence.
We need to stop with the barbaric behavior, you know, and just the ignorance. It's just sheer ignorance. It's a total, you know, just neglect for human life.
Part of Day's mission is changing the culture, especially among young people. He's just one of many activists who are continually working to be part of the solution. And he says it starts with personal accountability.
If you have issues with people, first of all, it's better ways to handle your problems. Don't throw your life away, but also take the lives of other people and impact people.
Day says he plans to hold a meeting of the minds later this week so he and other community activists can figure out how they can reduce gun violence in our city. As for the mass shooting, police tell us they are still looking for suspects and a motive. Outside police headquarters in Spring Garden, I'm Brian Sheehan, NBC 10 News.
Yeah, well, Jackie, the big question is who was all involved in this shooting. But what we know now is that 2 out of the 3 of those men who were shot dead were brothers, and that an altercation led to shots being fired.
Gun violence in every neighborhood is unacceptable to me and to every member of this Parker administration.
A handful of city leaders today pledged to get a hold on guns.
Lord have mercy. Your city is, remember what Eric Adams said? All this chocolate that we done hired. And your city leadership is chocolate as hell. And you have these major problems in your city. This is what a Kamala Harris presidency is going to look like. Point blank. If you want to know what a Kamala Harris presidency is going to look like, look no further. The only thing about this sister is she can probably talk her way, you know, out of anything. Kamala doesn't have that skill. But, you know, I can tell this sister can talk a ninja head off, boy. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, she's all talk, all bark, no bite, because she's not clamping down on these street ninjas in the community who are destroying everything that we love about the black community. It's ridiculous.
Gun violence in Philadelphia after a weekend mass shooting. 3 people died and 6 others were injured when gunfire erupted at a block party Sunday around 2 in the morning near the 1200th block of North Alden Street.
During that process, based on our investigation and video evidence as well, it appears to be an argument that turns into a physical altercation. As a result of that, guns are pulled and gunfire starts.
The commissioner says.
So it's an argument, guns are pulled, and gunfire starts. I mean, what is there to argue about? It's supposed to be good vibes, right? And this is what we're sold in the community. When we get together, ooh, honey, it's a movie. Yeah, a horror movie. Jesus Christ. I mean, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? You know, at first I thought it was a drive-by situation, but this is even worse. This is even worse.
As 3 guns were recovered and that multiple rounds were fired. 3 men died. 2 of them were brothers. About 100 people had gathered for a block party, which police said was being hosted without a permit. Officials saying that homicides in the city are down by over 30% this year.
To be honest with you, it's not surprising.
Homicides are down by over 30% this year. It's hilarious. The excuses are still coming after an event like this. Run it back.
Party which police said was being hosted without a permit. Officials saying that homicides in the city are down by over 30% this year.
Wow.
To be honest with you, it's not surprising because it's something that goes on often in Philadelphia with the guns.
But
so homicides are down by 30%, and then this sister with her little cute baby with the beads in her hair says, well, I'm not surprised because it happens often in Philadelphia. Look how the news and the media gaslights us, and they think that you're stupid. They think that you're stupid, community. And, you know, sadly, we just continue to play into the propaganda. But we got to realize this is a big issue. I don't care what the news is saying. Oh, homicides are down. From when?
Brandy Avery, who lives on this block, says she doesn't feel that decrease of violence in her community.
I'm in it. I'm in the neighborhood. I'm in the mix of, you know, these things that are going on. I'm going to these funerals.
A handful of advocacy groups gathered at the scene of the shooting.
You heard her. I'm going to these funerals. That is a powerful, powerful statement, man. We got to protect this sister at all costs. This is somebody who is keeping it real. This is somebody who's being honest with the people. Wow. I mean, that struck deep. That struck deep. Because she's in it, she's living it, she sees it every single day because she knows these super gremlins are on demon time.
Advocates saying the neighborhood has to work together every day, not just in days of mourning.
We need the community to come back, like be a village again.
This morning, officials did not share if the victims knew the shooter or the shooters, and they did not mention or share if they have any suspects in mind. Outside police headquarters, Yukari Nakayama, NBC 10 News.
All right, maybe those answers will come out in due time. Yukari, thank you.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
Right now, Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker and city leaders are talking about that mass shooting that happened over the weekend. 3 people died. 6 others are hurt. It happened during a party on Alden Street in West Philadelphia. Commissioner Bethel just took the podium after Mayor Parker. Let's go ahead and listen in for a minute.
Again, I thank the mayor for her leadership. So as you are aware, yesterday around 2:02 a.m., we started to receive multiple calls of a shooting on the highway here behind us. 19 district personnel responded, and at that point we had multiple individuals transported to the hospital. A total of 9 individuals were shot on this location. Unfortunately, 3 of those individuals were pronounced, and my condolences to the family, in particular a parent who lost 2 sons yesterday. And most of the officers were transported to Penn Presby as well as Lankenau. We currently have 6 individuals who survived their injuries. 2 of them remain in the hospital. The other 4 have been released. What we do know is that during that period, there was a large group of individuals on the block. During that process, based on our investigation and video evidence as well, there appears to be an argument that turns into a physical altercation. As a result of that, guns are pulled and gunfire starts. This was an incident where we had multiple rounds fired by multiple individuals. We recovered at least 3 types of weapons, a .357, a 9mm, as well as a .3 caliber weapon. We recovered almost 36 CCCs out here, FCCs, as a result of this, as well as 5 projectiles. And so what we have determined at this point, there was a fight that turned into gunfire, resulting in the injuries that we saw here today. Our homicide investigations team was on location. They've been doing a phenomenal job working nonstop since yesterday to do exactly what the mayor outlined, to bring these individuals.
You're listening to Commissioner Bethel speaking about a mass shooting that happened over the weekend. We're just learning 2 people are still in the hospital. 3 people, including a pair of brothers, are those who died in this shooting. We also heard from Mayor Sherelle Parker, who spoke before the commissioner. She talked about this being a block party and is asking people, if they are planning an event like this, to reach out to police just to give them a heads up that this is happening. We'll continue.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is the right thing to do, but you think the community is gonna call the police when, I mean, let's keep it a buck, at these block parties, they're doing drugs, potentially selling drugs, getting high, getting drunk, getting lit, maybe eating some food. You know, sounds like a good time, right? If you could keep it non-violent, but it just doesn't appear that the community is able to do that. So we do need to do these things through the right channels to save lives, but the community would rather have a good time and feel good than save lives, and that's a fact.
Need to listen in behind the scenes here and let you know if there's anything we need to pass along to you.
We are learning more about the mass shooting in West Philly over the weekend. 3 people died and 6 others were injured.
Police are still looking for suspects and offering a $20,000 reward for information. As Marcela Bayero tells us, the mayor had a lot to say about the violence.
It is never okay to put an entire neighborhood at risk like this.
Mayor Sherelle Parker gave an emotional message to those living in the Carroll Park neighborhood.
It is not acceptable for people to think that it is somehow okay to come into a neighborhood block party and pull out a gun and just start shooting each other.
In West Philly, neighbors watched as city officials and police spoke to the community on Alden Street following a deadly mass shooting early Sunday morning.
The kid that was on the block that saw this, or the people that were sitting on the porch, don't deserve to live in this kind of combat zone.
Police say at around 2.
So what y'all gonna do about it? That's the question. What y'all gonna do about it? Y'all got the power. Y'all are in the leadership positions. But any policy that they try and pass that will work, that will help and save the community, will be looked at and deemed as racist. I promise you that. So they can't do it because they can't do it within themselves, because they'd be like, oh, well, this is a racist policy. And even if they drafted it themselves, they'd still say it was a racist policy. But it's really just common sense, keep people safe policies that they refuse to enact. So they're not going to do anything. They're just going to do balloon releases, maybe GoFundMes. They're going to do memorials that potentially will get shot up. They'll do funerals. They'll do church speeches. They'll do community gatherings and think tanks and all this kind of stuff. And then they'll eventually get to blaming white people again. And the cycle just will, recycle itself.
2 a.m., a block party turned into a gun battle after a fight broke out. Officials tell us 3 people were shot and killed. 2 of them were brothers.
We currently have 6 individuals who survived their injuries. 2 of them remain in the hospital. The other 4 have been released.
Police say they think multiple shooters were involved after they found at least 3 guns. According to the city, there was no permit issued for this block party.
Why is it important?
And I mean, who would want to party on this block? I mean, what is going on? There's trash everywhere.
The city, there was no permit issued for this block party.
Why is it important to go through that process? Because when you do, the leadership of our respective police districts, they then know that there's a propensity for a large gathering to occur on blocks where permits have been issued.
Brandy Avery, who lives nearby, says she and her daughter heard the gunshots.
You know, it's just hard to hear that, so many people were hurt.
Avery says she hopes the leaders who visited her community on Monday will follow through with their promise to keep neighborhoods safer.
I'm hoping it's a reassurance. It feels like a reassurance to me. I hope this type of energy keeps up so that the neighborhood would be safe, especially for our children.
As of now, police say they are still working to find suspects, but they're reaching out to the community by handing out these brochures with ways that people can reach out with any information. In West Philly, Marcella Bayeto, CBS News, Philadelphia.
We have new details involving a deadly mass shooting in West Philadelphia over the weekend. Philadelphia police are asking for the public's help to find the gunman who killed 3 men and injured 6 others. 2 of the men fatally shot were brothers. Our Ellen Koloje live for us at police headquarters with the latest on the investigation. Ellen?
Yes, Sheba, police say it was not a random shooting, but it was a gun battle, an argument that turned into a gun battle that left 3 people dead in Sunday's mass shooting. And the mayor says she has a message for anyone even thinking about going into a neighborhood and starts firing. She says, think again.
To those who think that it is okay to engage in a wild, wild west-like culture here in our city, and to think that a type of behavior will be tolerated.
Mayor Sherelle Parker stood with police and many others in Carroll Park, where almost 40 shots were fired Sunday morning at a block party. 9 people hit in all. 3 men killed, 2 of them brothers, 6 others injured.
It is never okay to put an entire neighborhood at risk like this.
It just saddens my heart. It really takes a lot out of me and takes a lot out of our community. It's just so senseless.
Some neighbors told the mayor and police that their kids are afraid to even come out of their homes.
Like, it's real.
Listen, first and foremost, I just want to, I hear you, and we see you, right? I hear your frustration, and for somebody who grew up out here, I have the same frustrations you have.
That frustration is felt by many neighbors and also members of several anti-violence groups who came out to hear what city officials say they're trying to do.
The community is tired as a whole of the senseless gun violence, but it's very important that the mayor is here with us. So support, so solidarity.
I mean, support and solidarity ain't gonna cut it. You need heavier police presence. You need to take down these gangs. You need social media inspection. They need the ability to look at people's social media and follow clues to solve these crimes. I mean, they need more resources. They need more training. But this leadership, this black and brown leadership, they're not going to do that. They're not going to put any more resources than they have to get the bare minimum policing. They're not going to do it because I don't know why. There's got to be something. Everybody is just, I guess that's what they mean by on code. Once they get into power, they make sure that nobody else can. I don't know what it is, but it really just appears when you get these black Democrats in the office, they are doing nothing to help the community.
You know, it shows that she actually cares about what's going on. So that's the optimistic right there, you know.
I want to thank the response of the 19th Police District for getting out here and not just patrolling our communities, but building back the relationships that we once knew there was when we were growing up.
Police say they're trying to do more prevention work to help people feel more comfortable reporting crimes, and that could make all the difference.
215.
Well, you have a no snitch policy in the community, so you are shunned and outcasted if you tell on somebody for doing the wrong thing, no matter how egregious that thing may be. So I mean, these initiatives that they're pushing and text this number, and I mean, yeah, it might work in other neighborhoods, but in the community, it's a dud.
686 TIPS is an anonymous way to get that information to the police department. Let's get the individuals who are out there shooting so that we can have Commissioner Bethel and his enforcement team take care of business and do what they do.
And Philadelphia police really do want your help on this. They really need your help solving this crime. And they also want people to know that you can call 211 anytime if you have any information just about your neighborhood that you'd like them to know. And one other note, the mayor says she is not going to ban any block parties. She does not want just a small group of people to hold the whole city hostage.
Well, there you have it. You need a temporary ban on block parties, at least in this location. Because unless they're going through the right channels and getting permits, you can't allow it. I already said we need to stay on large gatherings. We need a hiatus on large gatherings in the community. And yes, a few rotten apples will spoil the bunch. They just will. And in this case, it's happening over and over again. So you need to get control of this situation before it blows up. But they won't do it. They don't have the kudos to do it. Either they don't care, or, you know, it's just in their mind, they can't come to the realization that our communities are dangerous and we are facing issues that other communities are not facing.
We're live at police headquarters. Ellen Kaloje, Fox 29 News.
Now, police are expected to host a meeting here in 1 hour at this church here at 56 and Girard Avenue. The hope is that they can update the community on the latest with this investigation, especially that suspect who they arrested. The shooting victim, Philadelphia police say, is now a shooting suspect, was charged with homicide as well as assault. They say 28-year-old Tahir Shoatz was involved with the deadly shooting that happened Sunday during a block party in West Philadelphia. District Attorney Larry Krasner today didn't say much about the ongoing investigation.
What I'm able to confirm is that we have evidence of 3 different weapons being fired.
Police say there were close to 150 people at the gathering in the Carroll Park neighborhood. Around 2 a.m., a gun battle started.
Based on our investigation and video evidence as well, it appears to be an argument that turns into a physical altercation. As a result of that, guns are pulled and gunfire starts.
Of the 9 people shot, 3 died. Investigators say 2 of them were brothers. Police put out this statement on social media stating they'd recovered evidence from the scene of this triple homicide they called senseless.
We have counted at least 25 to 30 spent shell casings at this time in various directions. The crime scene spreads out over half of this block on the 1200 block of North Alden Street.
And so we are going to have to turn back the times of when we can have a good time on our blocks.
In this kind of combat zone. So we're not going nowhere.
Earlier this week, the police commissioner, mayor, and anti-violence groups called on the community to help investigators make sure this incident does not go unpunished.
Everybody has a role. Everybody has work that they need to do. A role for the community, a role for parents, a role for the police department, a role for your government.
Now, the purpose of this meeting is also so that
all they do is just scream and holler, but they ain't getting anything done.
Police can keep communication with people in this neighborhood open at all times, not just when crime occurs in the area. Again, this meeting starts at 6 o'clock at Vine Memorial Baptist Church, which is at the corner of 56 and Girard Avenue. We're live from West Philadelphia. Leah Uko, NBC 10 News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.